Meta has just added a new feature that is going to completely change the way we run lead magnet campaigns on Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, this changes everything.
Lead magnet campaigns, the lead magnet strategy, is one of my favorites. It's one of the 3 Facebook advertising strategies I use all the time. If you're interested in knowing more about those and how they work, check out the video description where I include a link to a free webinar discussing all those details. But what Meta has done is they've given us the ability to deliver files directly via instant forms. So instead of someone having to come through to your website, sign up for your email list, and then receive whatever the free lead magnet is via email, for example, we can just give them that on Facebook or Instagram and really simplify the process. Now, there are some cons associated with that, more positives in my opinion, but before I talk about those, I want to quickly show you how this works. So I'm in an example Facebook ad account, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new campaign. Now I've got the new ODAX objective menu, so I'm just going to go ahead and select leads. You could also do this via the lead generation campaign objective if you've got the old menu. So if I go ahead and click continue on here, then I'm going to jump over to the ad set level and make sure that instant forms is selected. This is only going to work through instant forms, and this really is the new way of doing lead magnet campaigns because we're keeping people in app on Facebook, on Instagram, using instant forms as opposed to sending people through to our website. Then if we go ahead and jump to the ad level, I'm not going to fill out any of the other details here, by the way. I've got other videos on how to create lead generation or lead campaigns that use instant forms. I've got videos on how to set up the lead forms themselves, so I'll include links to those in the video description. You can go ahead and check them out. What I just want to focus on in this video is this new feature. Okay, so if I scroll down to the instant form section and I go ahead and click on create form, then I'm going to go ahead and give this instant form a name. So I'm just going to call this example form. And then, as I said, I'm not going to fill out any of the details. I've got a whole separate video about how you can set up these lead forms correctly to get the best results. So go ahead and check that out if you're interested. What I am going to do is jump down to this message for leads section, which we've had for a while. And if you click on this call to action button option, instead of just view website, call business, we've now got a new option called view file. So if we go ahead and click on view file, we see that the options underneath it change slightly. And Facebook is now allowing us to upload a PDF, PNG, JPEG directly here. We can add in a file and that can be the lead magnet. So if your lead magnet is a free report or a guide on how to do something, if it is perhaps like a cheat sheet or a template, for example, one of the lead magnets I use is a free 5-part Facebook ad template. So we could go ahead and upload that here, and that would allow people to just directly download it from the instant form. Before we could even use the call to action button as download, people would still have to click through to our website in order to get their thing. So it's quite a big difference here. Obviously we're entering the call to action, so you could just have download, or you could have something like get my template, something like that. And then once we've added the file in here using add media, they click on this button over here on the right hand side and they just get it directly. They don't need to come through to our website. So it's a much more simple process than the traditional lead magnet setup. There are some pros and cons associated with using this and testing it, so it's important we quickly discuss those. Okay, so let's start by talking about the cons of using this approach to the lead magnet strategy as opposed to sending people through to your website. So firstly, you're not building an email list. We know email lists can be very valuable digital assets. You can use them to email people on an ongoing basis, sell your products and services. That has become significantly less effective with the privacy rules that have been brought in around not being able to email about offers unless people have given consent and all that sort of stuff. So the downside to not building an email list has decreased because they are less valuable, but that is still a potential issue and something to be aware of. Secondly, we're not sending the lead magnet to our prospects in that first email, which really encourages people who have joined our email list to open that email and click on it, which is going to help us bypass spam filters and things like that later down the line as we subsequently email those people. So even if you were, for example, to hook up your CRM and add them to an email list after they've downloaded this file, you've got to watch out for privacy issues and things like that I've already mentioned. They're also not taking that initial action. You're not sort of training them to go ahead and open that email and then click on the link, which could hurt your deliverability and things like that later on. We're also not sending people to our website if we use this setup. We're keeping them within Facebook and Instagram. Now, whether or not that's a con will really depend on the quality of your website. For some businesses, their website really helps them sell their products and services. There's lots of information on there. You want people to go there and, bounce around and check stuff out. They're less likely to do that, obviously, if then not being directed to your website. So that could be a con. Obviously, if you've got a poor website or not something that you're super proud of, maybe this is a much better, easier approach. But again, that's something to be aware of. Okay, so those are the major cons, and I want to go through the pros. Before I do, I just want to quickly mention our done-for-you Facebook and Instagram advertising services. So we can create, manage, and optimize campaigns for your business. If you'd like us to help you get better results and take the workload off your hand, and you want to find out more information, you can click on the link in the video description. That'll take you to a page where you can book in a call directly, a free call directly with one of my team members. We do have a 3K per month minimum budget requirement, so please only book a call if you meet that. But if you do, go ahead and book a call, find out more, see how we might be able to help, and hopefully we get a chance to work together. So what are the pros associated with using this method to run your lead magnet campaigns as opposed to sending people through to your website? Well, firstly, because you're not sending it via email, a greater percentage of people that go through and click on this ad and say they want your lead magnet are actually going to get it. We don't have to worry about spam filters. We don't have to worry about deliverability issues. We don't have to worry about people forgetting to go into their email. If there's that disconnect between when they see your ad and when they've got time to go through the lead magnet, they're less likely to do it if it's coming through via email. If they can grab it here very quickly and easily, they're far more likely to actually get hold and look at the lead magnet. And if it's a good lead magnet, if it does what it's supposed to do, it should help convert people to your product, service, whatever the next step is. So you really do want people to go through the lead magnet and consume that piece of content. So it's definitely going to help with that. I wouldn't be surprised if it doubles or more the actual consumption rate of your lead magnet using this method as opposed to email. A little bit early to have concrete numbers on this, but that's my feeling of what's going to happen in sort of early testing. Also, this is a better user experience. People don't want to leave the app. It's nice and quick. We all want things that are easier and quicker. We don't want to have to enter in an email address. We know what's likely to come with that, with emails that we don't want about offers and things like along those sorts of lines. So I think that it's a better user experience, and user behavior will probably warm to this setup more than going through to a website and entering an email address. We know that people enter in false email addresses because they don't want to receive those follow-up marketing emails and things like that. So users are going to be more willing to go through this process. And once this has sort of become more normal, and users, it's going to happen more in certain industries than others, obviously, but once users are sort of used to getting files and things like that via an instant form on Facebook or Instagram, I think we're going to see another increase in people's willingness to do this and go through that process, because they know there's not the potential negative downside that comes with giving over your email address via a website, for example. Using this setup also makes your life as a Facebook advertiser a lot easier. Yes. Right, so firstly, you're going to have less support, less emails from prospects saying, I couldn't get the lead magnet, how do I download it? And most of the time, the answer to that question is it simply went into your spam folder using the old setup. But that's time, that's effort. Maybe you have someone on your team like we do to handle all that sort of stuff. Well, that's going to decrease, right? The number of people not being able to get hold of the lead magnet is going to go down because it's delivered directly via the instant form. That saves your team time, resources that could be dedicated to something else. So that's great. It also means you don't have to go through the process of creating a really nice looking landing page, which is time and effort. You may not even need to pay for a CRM, which can get really quite expensive, particularly when you get into the tens of thousands of subscribers, for example, because you don't need to have all that hooked up. You could just deliver it straight through here. If you're not very technical and you're trying to work out how do I connect my ads to my landing page, to my CRM, to get the email, to email the lead magnet to them directly, all this can be quite complicated, takes time, effort, maybe you have to hire a developer. So there's quite a lot of cost saving benefits and time saving benefits associated with this setup, where you simply go, okay, we don't need any of that. We're just gonna very quickly, easily create an instant form. We're gonna deliver the file directly, and then we'll be able to retarget those people to get them to take the next step as per the lead magnet strategy. Once we know they're more likely to have consumed it. So I think once you add a lot of those pros up, you're looking at something that could be really, really interesting, exciting. If you are using the lead magnet strategy or you've thought about it, definitely worth testing this approach in comparison to the traditional approach where you're sending people through to your website. This is almost certainly going to produce a lower cost per lead, which is great. Will those people go on to convert as well? That's the thing that we're experimenting with and working out right now. And one other major benefit that I need to mention is that you're going to get more accurate data within your Facebook ad account using this approach. We know that one of the answers to the loss of data that we experienced post iOS 14 is to bring more of your prospects, customers' action in app. more within Facebook, more within Instagram, because we can track all of that sort of stuff. So if we know, for example, with close to 100% accuracy, which people are going ahead and signing up for this lead magnet, then we can, well, firstly, Meta can use that information to optimize our campaigns more effectively because the more accurate data within the ad account. But we can as well. We can decide to turn off certain ads, run certain targeting options, all that sort of stuff. Whereas when we're sending them to our website, we know that 30% or so, depending on how much of your business comes through iOS devices, etc., is going to be lost or at least inaccurate. So that really helps with that. And we know that over time compounded, that increased data accuracy can really help your results. So I'd encourage you to give this a go and let me know how it goes in the comments. I'd also recommend that you check out this video where I show you a better way to target on Facebook. We've been doing some experimentation recently. We feel like we found a better way for a lot of Facebook advertisers to target on Facebook. I share it all in this video. Go ahead and check it out.